Hi, my name is LaShawn Jenkins with the Notary Institution. I coach and mentor notary signing agents on how they can have a successful notary signing agent business. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I provide tips on how you can become a successful notary signing agent. So today's video, I actually want to go over the challenges that you may face as a notary signing agent. I have 6 challenges that you may face during the notary signing agent journey. So the first thing is learning how to market your notary services. Um, when you're marketing your notary signing services, using your personal Facebook page is not the way to market your notary services. One, your clients are not your friends and family for the most part. You might receive business from them, but they're not going to be the people that's going to be paying you, the 125 on up for the loan signings. Instead, you actually want to go ahead and just create a Facebook business page. We create that Facebook business page. You actually can be found on Facebook, or someone was looking for a notary in your area. Depending on how much engagement your Facebook page has, it's possible people will actually find your Facebook page through the Facebook search engine. The next challenge that a lot of notaries will face is missing signatures during the loan closings. That mistake is very common and it happens a lot, but there is ways to actually avoid missing mistakes. So before you head out to the loan signing, you can always just take your time and review the loan package. While you're reviewing that loan package, you're looking for places where the borrower needs to sign, where you need to sign, where you need to fill out notary acknowledgments, and also you're looking for places where you may actually have to initial the pages. Also, reviewing the documents before you leave the signing table will also prevent you from missing signatures and sending the loan package back, with missing signatures and you having to go back out there. Normally, when you do have to go back out there, the signing companies do not pay you to go back out there if it's a mistake that you made. They're not going to pay you. Um, the next challenge that you may face is having just way too many services. It's easy to get caught up in when you're starting your notary signing agent business. You're going to want to start, all the services. Some people do start doing weddings, loan signings. They start doing general notary work. Some people add fingerprinting. Um, and that's just to name a few other services. But the thing is about when you're doing way too many services at one time and you're brand new, it's easy for you to mess up. So the goal is start with one service first, master that service, and then you can move on to the next service and adding that service. There's all kinds of services you can add, but if you are going to have multiple services for your notary signing agent business, you want to make sure you master one service before you move on to the next. You want to make sure you have an easy system in place for each service. The next challenge is receiving a legal notary request. So when you first start out, not even when you first start out, this is a challenge. This is always going to happen. People asking for documents to be notarized. For example, someone called and she said she needed a document notarized, but her husband was in a different state and she wanted to know, can she just sign his name? And she was like, I can show you his ID. I can't do that. First of all, that person has to actually appear before me. Unless she had a power of attorney, in which she didn't, I could have did it. But she just wanted me to just do it, based off her word. You can't do stuff like that. When you do have those situations, and sometimes people will try to argue you, a lot of times I just refer people to the notary law. I don't really go back and forth. I just tell them I can't do it, and I refer them to the law. Normally, I actually keep my Texas notary law like handbook in my phone. I actually have it downloaded the PDF that they provided, put it in my iCloud drive, so that way it's always on me. And if someone has, anything to say about, how I'm doing my job, if it's wrong or legal or illegal, I can always reference my handbook. I had run into to where so I had to do that. Not very often, but it does happen. So the next challenge you will face is understanding what to charge. So before you actually even think about charging and how much you can charge, you want to look at your notary state laws. You want to see exactly what your state even allow you to charge. Are you allowed to charge a travel fee? How much are you allowed to charge per acknowledgement? Those are things that you have to look at before you can start pricing your notary services. You want to look to see what your state allows you to charge. And then you will start thinking about, the things like different factors that you can up your charge, up your fee. So some things you want to think about is, how many people are signing the loan document, how many pages the loan package is, how far is the loan package, how big is the loan package. Some loan packages are extremely large, and for those companies, you want to charge a little more. You're providing more service, you're printing off more pages. You also want to look into if you have to scan, if you have to fax any documents. Um, in the state of Texas, we have the HELOC closings, to where so we have to pay someone to use their office. And you have to think about that, how much it costs to use that office space, for that 45 minutes. You want to incorporate that price inside that particular loan signing. Last but not least, the process of scanning and printing the loan documents. The first thing first is, a lot of times people do not have the correct tools to even do the loan signings. When you're doing the loan signings, you need to invest in a laser jet printer, a laser jet dual printer. I see some people get away with it with a one tray printer, but really they're just working like really hard, because every time they print, they have to make sure that the trays are set correctly, and then they have to go change the paper out. That just is a lot of work. This unnecessary. You always want to make sure it's a dual tray laser jet printer. You do not want to get an inkjet printer. The laser jet printers, to be honest, they're way more effective. They print faster. They last longer. You're not going to be changing ink every month. A toner on a laserjet printer can print sometimes 10,000 pages. So definitely your biggest investment should be that printer. You want to get something that's last, and it's also going to work for your business. Um, Another thing I want to say is, you also want to stay away from, printing your loan documents off at FedEx or UPS or any other type of like printing services. The thing is, our goal is to protect, the borrower's privacy. We have a lot of their sensitive information, and you don't want that information to get out. And sometimes when you're scanning on these large size, company printers at these stores, they actually sometimes they'll store that information in those printers. And if something was to happen, like that printer get hacked, just like, a lot of things are going to hack nowadays, like our credit cards and stuff. You want to make sure that you did everything you could to not have that borrower's information, get out there. Also, you want to look for no cutoff pages. You want to make sure that all the pages were printed on the correct size. You want to make sure you printed all the papers that's supposed to be on letter. You want to make sure that all the ones that's printed legal, they're on the right size. You want to make sure they're not cut off. You want to make sure that not only just not cut off, but like position right. Because sometimes I'm not sure either the way they scan the documents in. Sometimes it like be like the page will like start like in the middle or something. But so you can just go in your printing settings and like fix it and figure out, what paper size. Um and also scanning the documents, incorrectly. You want to make sure that when you're scanning the documents, at least try to do it one PDF. Scan them the same way that they actually scan them to you in the same order. You want to make sure you move all the flag it notes. Don't highlight your documents. I've seen that happen a few times. And that's actually all the challenges. So don't forget to tune in every Tuesday and Thursday. I provide tips on how you can become a successful notary signing agent, and I hope to see you again.